G'day cunts, welcome to the first episode of LewReview Season 2. Now, you might notice a few changes, a few upgrades with the film space and the videos that I'm putting out, and that is all thanks to the sick cunts supporting me on Patreon. Now, I have had the longest time to prepare this video. As you guys know, I'm a stand-up comedian, and for the last 2 years, I've been touring the country, living the dream, and doing my show for you guys. But behind the scenes, it has not been nice at all. One person has been privately contacting venues, telling them lies, and using their pull in the mainstream media to stop me from performing ever for you guys. And it's all to get revenge. And I fucking knew this was gonna happen. I knew it. I knew I couldn't keep making videos and fucking destroying feelings and creating butthurt without someone trying to get revenge. I knew this was gonna happen. Susan McLean, ex-police officer and cyberbully expert. The very first person I reviewed. What a wonderful time. She has come for revenge. Now look, Susie, I know you have a little piece of paper from a university that no one's ever heard of that says that you are an expert in online interaction, but here's the thing. If you fuck with me over the internet, you are going to lose. Allow me to demonstrate. Roll the new intro. Now, Susie and I, we just go way, way back. The first time I ever heard of Susan McLean was when she and I were on a current affair together.
Now, a current affair had me on their television program, and they called me Australia's worst cyberbully, which I'm very proud of. It's a fucking achievement, you know, there's a whole bunch of 15-year-olds bullying girls to cut themselves. I'm at the top of that. A lot of hard work and dedication.
Susan came onto a current affair, and even though we had never interacted or met each other before, decided to say some very mean things about me.
She said that without the internet, I would be no one. Which is kind of like saying without the pool, Michael Phelps would be a shit swimmer. Makes a lot of sense, you fuckhead.
Now, when Susan McLean found out that we tricked a current affair into running a fake story on cyberbullying and our victim was actually an actor, obviously she looked very silly for believing that we were evil cyberbullies. So that's her first problem with me. Now, shortly after this, she released her very first book.
Called Sex, Texts and Selfies, How to Keep Your Children Safe in the Digital Space. So straight away from the title, you can see she has no idea what the fuck she's talking about.
Guys, I really think I need to drill this one point home. That book was so terrible that it inspired me to create an entire series dedicated to me reviewing shit stuff online. But I did think I gave her a very balanced review. I mean, look, I only ripped out like one page. Okay, it was a couple of pages actually. But the final straw came in 2015 when I announced my first ever live show. Because at that time, the media, the critics, and Susan McLean herself had personally labeled me a cyberbully, I decided to call my show Cyberbully Superstar. Because if that's what you want me to be, Susie, that's what I'm gonna fucking be. Now, Susie absolutely fucking hated this, and unbeknownst to me, behind the scenes, she started to use her pull in the media to get this show cancelled. And she started off by privately messaging the venues I was performing at on Twitter. Now, Susie has no idea that I have seen every single one of the messages that she sent privately to these venues. She has no idea that I've been showing these messages to hundreds of people on tour. And she has no idea that I'm about to show all of you guys right fucking now. She thought she was being very sneaky, but Susan, like I said, darling, if you fuck with me over the internet, you are going to lose. This is what she said.
You might like to know that Mel McCure is hosting a show in April called Cyberbully Superstar, making fun of online bullying. Not a good look? Now, I don't know how Susan knew I was making fun of online bullying in the show, because at that time, I had never performed the show before. I mean, I did make fun of online bullying, but that's a bit of a judgment, don't you think? She also said, this person has been arrested for online harassment. Now that's a massive lie. I've never been arrested for online harassment. That's just completely false. And caused lots of issues for people. That one's 100% true. Yet your brand is endorsing his behaviour. Please review. Now, after she sent these messages, the venue understandably freaked out. This is like a professional cyber safety expert, whatever that means. And you know, they freaked out. They thought they were holding a show for a massive criminal that was just going to cyberbully the audience. I don't know how that would work because it's real life. I was like, hey mate, what's your Snapchat? Yeah, cool. Then just send him a picture of my nutsack on the stage. What's your Snapchat? I'll tell you, you got a dumb laugh later. Thank you for coming.
After all of these messages were sent, it took me almost an entire month to convince these venues that this woman was lying, that I wasn't a fucking cyber bully criminal, that I was just a stand-up comedian trying to do their show for the people that support me. And I mean, it was my first fucking show. I was mainly freaking out over whether or not anyone was gonna fucking buy tickets to the thing. Then all of a sudden, I have the added stress of having to prove to strangers that run a business that this ex-police officer, a trusted expert in her field, is lying about me being a cyber criminal. It got so bad that I actually had to get lawyers involved to send Susan a cease and desist order to stop her from lying to these venues. Anyway, the venues decided that she was lying and that I wasn't some cyber criminal out to destroy children's lives, and they let me do the show. And it went so well, and without a hitch, mind you, Susie. Nobody in the audience decided to fucking shoot themselves because I was telling dick jokes, alright? Nothing bad happened. That they let me come back the next year and do my next show in the even bigger room that they have.
So I would just like to point out for a second that Susan McLean really speaks out against cyberbullying all the time. That's her career. She really campaigns against cyberbullying. She thinks cyberbullying is evil. And I would just like to point out what she's done to me here. She has gone online and she has sent private messages filled with lies to damage my reputation and hurt my feelings. What does that sound like? Cyberbullying! Susan McLean cyberbullied me. Get the fuck out of here.
It's time to end this bullshit saga that we have going on, alright? Let's take a step back and analyze who really started this shit, okay? The first time I ever heard of you was when you came on television and started talking shit, calling us cyberbullies, when really, we hoaxed the whole thing. And you never admitted that we were faking and you were wrong, right? Really, you should be grateful. We gave you the opportunity to get your weird head on TV. It's not my fault that when you Google sex, text and selfies book review, my video comes up. That's not my fault. It's not my fault that your book is a shit book, alright? You're the one who wrote it. You're the one who said that Tinder is for 13-year-olds and DUM is internet code for did you masturbate. No one fucking says DUM. And it's not my fault that when you give talks about cyber safety in high schools, people in the audience think it's funny to Snapchat me photos of you doing it and ask you questions about me to fucking ruin your day. I can't control that. A lot of my fans are in high school. That's not my fault, Susie. It's not my fault that when you go to a school and pretend to be an expert on the internet, the real experts, teenagers, think you're a big fucking joke. Oh, and by the way, Susan, can you stop trying to get those kids fucking suspended? The amount of times I have an inbox from some kid in a high school who asked a legitimate question about the shit that happened between us. The amount of times they've told me that you've gone to the fucking principal to try and get them suspended is ridiculous. What are you, fucking 12? Answer the question. You don't have to get all Asperger's about it. And you know what? Fuck it. I'm sorry. Alright, Susan. I'm sorry that me pursuing my dream of becoming a stand-up comedian is offensive to you for some reason. And I'm sorry for calling my show They Tried to Cancel Me Last Time, because I know that would have pissed you off. And so to make up for those two things, what I decided to do is every time I performed the show, I filmed myself and everybody in the audience apologizing to you for coming together and enjoying ourselves. And to everybody watching this video, could you please write into the comments, sorry Susie, for enjoying my stuff and watching this video. And I hope you accept it, Susan. I really do. I hope you can accept this apology from me and about 1,000 people who were pissing themselves at your pathetic attempts to stop me from performing. Sorry, Susan! Sorry, Susie! Sorry, Susie! Sorry, Susie!
1, 2, 3. Now, a few of you guys said, fuck you, Susie. That's not what we were trying to do, guys. He's got a point. He's got a point.
There you have it, Susie. I really do hope you can accept our apology. But before I go, I have one more thing to say. I know you have some great ties within the media. You're on the television just about every other week. I mean, I get the Snapchats of people making fun of you for the bullshit that you're spewing. So I have a proposition for you, Susan. Let's have a debate about cyberbullying on any television channel or radio station that you like. Anytime, any place, anywhere, I'll be there. It can be as biased as you want. I'll still show up. And we can let the people decide who's the real cyberbully in this situation. Me, the idiot who tricks the media into running fake stories about himself, or you, the woman who actually does this shit. And if you would like to let Susan know about my offer for a friendly debate, you can tweet her here and make sure you use the hashtag #SorrySusie. And Susan, if you don't accept my offer for a nice debate about cyberbullying, then I guess you're not really the expert that you say you are. Checkmate, Susie. That was the first episode of LewReview Season 2. Subscribe for a new one every single week. I'm Lewis Spears, and I'll catch you later, cunt.
Cause when you make it to a certain success, you got the boys in the street who wanna come with you, yes. So in order for that, that's how they paying me back. To fuck you up on any circumstances, play with me, lad. This ain't a gangster act, not by any means. This the Bible for my enemies.